Hi there, we believe that pets are family, and if you're thinking about moving overseas with your pet at some point in the next few years, then this is the place to be. We're giving some weekly updates on different things about pet travel and the adventures of moving pets, and some tips and some stories. So welcome. In this video we're going to be talking about pet travel for the flat-faced dogs, for example the Bulldogs, and the challenges that this has, and this is the big change in 2023. This is the exciting news about what's happening. So I'm going to break this video down into 4 different sections. The first section is the origin of what is the problem for moving dogs like Bulldogs. The second section is about, there's a special new test for these breeds and how you can use this test to see whether or not your pet is safe to travel, and how the airlines can use the test to have more confidence in shipping pets. The third area I'm going to talk about is strategies for you to be able to move your Bulldog or your Pug or your Boston Terrier, pets like this, how to move them with confidence and safely. Okay, what is the origin of this current situation we have? The origin is based on the physiology and anatomy of the dog. It's based on human psychology, and it's based on business. So these Bulldogs, their shape has changed dramatically, although very gradually, over the last 100 years. And so breeds which 100 years ago had quite long faces with a long nose and big nostrils, their faces have become more compressed. And so many of these dogs now, like the French Bulldog, the English Bulldog, their nostrils are tiny, their nose is very short, but yet they still have a big tongue, they still have big eyes, big ears. So actually they're very cute, but on the other hand, actually their breathing is a little bit compromised. They can get a blocked nose because their nostrils are so small. They can pant because their windpipe is a little bit small and their airway is a little bit small, but yet they're still a big dog for a Bulldog. So we have the physical changes of the breed, but yet we have the people's perception of, these dogs they're lovely pets. They're really good natured, they're lovely friendly animals, and they also of course look really cute with their big eyes and their big ears, and they kind of stare at you and they bounce around, but yet they're good pets for having, for city life. They don't appear to be quite so energetic and needing quite so much exercise. They're more patient than some breeds. They're not kind of hyperactive in some of them. So this is the pet. Okay, and then the other aspect is what I refer to as the business aspect, is the airline's perception of these breeds. These dogs, because they inevitably pant more because of their tongues being so big, their nostrils being so small, they tend to pant more. This looks like they're breathing with more effort. The airlines get concerned, and there have been certain individuals who have had airway breathing issues, and so the airlines' response has just been most airlines have just banned these breeds, and so it's quite difficult for people to find an airline to take their Bulldog on, or their French Bulldog on. The next step to consider is the BOAS test, or the Brachycephalic Obstructive Airway Syndrome test. So this is the test to weed out which are the pets who have airway difficulties from those which don't have airway difficulties, because this is the game changer in 2023. It's the BOAS test. This airway breathing test is going to become a much more commonly used tool, and this is a way that you can assess your pet to know, will they have any problems with breathing, and the airlines will be able to know which of the individuals which have issues, and so it gives confidence to yourself and the airline to know about pet safety during travel. The BOAS test has a number of components. So when I do a BOAS test, and I'm doing them quite frequently, so when we do BOAS tests, first of all we need to know about how the pet's health is. So we do an interview with the owner where we ask about the medical records, the medical history and information of that pet. Do they have epilepsy? Do they have heart disease? Are they on medications? What are they on medication for? Okay, so first of all we do an interview with mum or dad. Then we do a physical examination where we see how the dog is on physical examination, what their nostrils look like, how their tongue and their throat look like, what their heart and their lungs sound like on auscultation with a stethoscope. We get them to then do an exercise test. So run up and down a little bit, trot, of course in a sensible, safe manner. If the pet's not used to a lot of exercise, it needs to be done in a careful way. But so do some exercise to make the breathing faster, and then assess what the sound of the breathing sounds like after exercise, to simulate what it's like if your pet is under some stress or anxiety, if they're separated from you, or if they're loud airplane noises around them. The other aspect of the test is going in a travel crate to spend some period of time in a travel crate, just for perhaps 5 minutes, to see how does the pet respond to the travel crate. Will they try to break the door, bash the door, start barking, look very stressed out, or will they just lie down, fall asleep, and just be very calm? So this is part of the assessment. So there's the mum and dad interview, there's the physical examination, there's the crate assessment, and there's the trotting up and down to do an exercise test. So we do all of these aspects to then come up with a quantifiable numerical score of what that individual pet's breathing is like, and are they a pass or are they a fail with regards to this test. So this enables us to know more about pet safety during travel. Now, there's been a pilot study with Qantas in Australia, and out of 607 tests that had this BOAS test, only 22 pets failed the test. Now, these pets were they were all bulldogs, like French bulldogs or English bulldogs, or pugs or Boston Terriers. They're the only ones who actually failed the test. And of the ones who did fly, 607 to take away 22, of these ones who did fly, they all flew without any concerns, without any risk. Everything was completely fine. So what are strategies for safe travel for these flat-faced pets, or for any pet, but in particular for the flat-faced pets? Well, there's the things that you can do, and there's the things that perhaps the professionals can do. So firstly, the things that you can do. You can select the best crate for your pet. So they need to be have a lot of ventilation. So ventilation sections on the front, on the back, and the sides. So 4 sides of ventilation. The crate size needs to be big enough so airflow can travel around your pet, and also, and perhaps most importantly, your travel crate should arrive months before your pet travels, so then your dog can get very familiar and comfortable with spending time inside the travel crate, and so they are just completely happy with being inside the crate. Secondly, you can consider, on the basis of advice with your doctor, whether or not your dog needs to have any type of airway surgery to perhaps open up the nostrils a little bit, or to shorten the soft palate, do something to mean that the passage of air in and out to the lungs is smooth and uninhibited. So if this is something which is necessary, and in many pets it's not, but if this is something which is necessary, then this can be assessed and determined by your veterinarian, and there may be some safe procedure which can be done to help with this. So talk to your vet. So there are some other strategies for the safe relocation of your pets when you want to consider about these breeds and any breeds with airway issues. So we need to think about the temperature of the days when they travel. So think about what time of year your pet flies. So don't be flying your pet in the middle of midsummer. Try to fly your pet in the winter time. Think about the check-in times. It would be better to check in or to arrive in a destination perhaps at night time or early in the morning when it's still cool, not in the middle of the day. Think about the temperature of the origin, the destination, and any transit places. So in all places, the temperature should be 26, less than 26 degrees centigrade would be optimal. Think about the countries that you're flying through. Think about what are their capacity for dealing with pets. Are they known to have a good transit center? Are they known to be pet lovers? And are they expected to pay attention to your pet during transit? How long is the transit? Will your pet be supervised during transit? Will you have an update how they are during the transit? And have a think about the airline. See if discover if the airline that you'll be using is a pet-friendly airline. So these things are often something which the professional pet shippers will be able to advise on, and will be doing the planning for you on, rather than you having to organise yourself. But there are certain things that you can ask your pet shipper. Okay, so to go on to the good news. The good news is that in a Heathrow airport study, they surveyed all the pets arriving in Heathrow over a period of a few years, and they worked out which ones are short-faced breeds and which ones aren't, or at least they worked out which ones are short-faced breeds and mixtures of short-faced breeds compared to ones which definitely weren't. And actually there's very little difference. They discovered that in their experience 99.95% of the short-faced breeds had no problems with the pet travel. So that's the good news. So don't be too concerned about flying your pet. This video is to provide joy and insights on the challenges of pet travel, and if you're considering to relocate with your pet in the coming months or years, then I hope that this information and these stories and tips have been helpful for you. And to those who are considering relocating soon, may your travels be full of wagging tails and happy purrs. Have a great day.